So, guys, I don't really know what to say. I've been gone for a long time, and I know. I'll get to that and I'll explain why. But that subject, it kind of deserves an entire video of its whole or of its own entirety, I guess. So today I want to discuss the Wraith and Bangalore lore, the Bangalore and lore, whatever. Let's get to the main point. So Apex they've been doing a lot of things quite differently here in season 9, and with that I mean much more lore than we normally get. We have the classic in-game comics as numerous community-made comics. Not to mention that we have canon videos about Valkyrie and Pathfinder, like individually of each other, having their own little videos on Twitter. I think one being 2 minutes, the other one being like 6 minutes, describing their lore. Them being their own respective videos. And let's see. Well, we certainly have we have last but not least the Apex Overtime comics, of which they're pretty good. I think. I mean I have yet to look into them, but I think they're good. So only one way to find out, right? Why am I'm getting called? Wait, in the middle of a video, seriously?
This Choom is still peeking with this biddy, bro. You're like no help.
What?
He probably popped the bat off, careful.
Dude, I'm in the middle of making a video.
Oh, okay. Niggas got this shit right now! Teammates right
But
here.
but
Revenant.
bullshit. Okay. I'll look it after this, Cartman.
Revenant's the other team, I'm pretty sure.
Now you need to look at this. I'm sending you to right now.
Oh my god. What the fuck is this?
He got silent, so there might be a whole nother fucking Revenant as well.
So, now here's the true video. Do a little special introduction, spend some time working on that because, you know, it's you guys. I haven't been here for a while and I, you know, had to make up for that a little bit. And I will actually explain why I've been gone. But today's video is not Bangalore and Wraith lore. I will get to that later. I was waiting for more stuff to come out with Mirage as well as Wraith, but it turns out there's not, so I'm probably just going to make videos on them. Different videos, just to clarify. However, yeah, this is an Apex Overtime review, and let me tell you, I had some time to sit on this thing. A lot of time. I was mostly going to wait for the other comic to come out to see if it was an improvement, because, well, why not, right? See if the artist makes changes, but I did some researching and dug around, seen some of the other artist fellow conclusions, which, by the way, I've been working a lot on art, which is part of the reason why I've been gone for so long. I'll show a little sneak peek here at some point, what I've been working on. And I also seen the artist that worked on Apex Overtime. Keep in mind, this guy's a professional artist who's worked for, I think, Marvel and DC. And this guy, what he had to say about the Apex and Apex Overtime really pissed me off. I took some time to cool down, let this simmer down, let everyone calm down. That way it didn't seem like I was dogpiling this person. Because I am not the only person with this opinion, believe me. If you haven't seen the Apex Overtime comics yet, which you may have, you probably have. They're garbage. That's what I'm going to start off with. The cover work is great. Phenomenal. The cover art of the Apex Overtime first comic is great. It's amazing. So is the second and third one if you haven't seen it. The second one, I believe, is Lifeline Octane, and the third one is Watson Rampart. And they look good. The cover art looks fucking amazing. But turn a page and you'll think the exact opposite. Let me tell you. The exact opposite. It's fucking dog shit. I've had a lot of time to calm down about this, but people pay for these comics. They pay for them. And this is the shit we get. It is fucking horrendous. I'm so goddamn pissed off. Nothing should be this shit quality. And if in one of the excuses is it's in the professional industry. They were given a deadline, which, okay, that kind of makes sense. But when you take this fucking artist's text on social media about his response to Apex Overtime and Apex in general, it's fucking disgusting. There is no attempts of trying. This person doesn't even fucking care. Keep in mind, this person has made some pretty good art for, I believe, DC and Marvel. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's fucking horrendous. Fucking horrendous. Alright, now that I got that field out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and start getting into, like, showing you guys the images. I'm not even going to explain the story of it, because I'm too pissed off to do that. But I'm going to go ahead and get into the screenshots and show you why I don't like this, why it should be better, and why the Apex in-game comics are actually better than this, even if the art is very, very similar. I guess I should start off by saying that there's a lot of things wrong with this comic, and I can excuse, from a professional standpoint, I guess that if he was given a short deadline or if he's not given much time to work with, I can excuse that this man doesn't have much time to work and draw art. Because as an artist myself, I understand it takes a long time to do art, and I understand that. But with the consideration that not only is this guy shit talking fans and being disrespectful, keep in mind he's a professional and should maintain a professional level of uh, persona or just be a professional. Now, I think that people shouldn't go out of the way to hate on him either. But considering that he's admitted that he hasn't tried, we see where he hasn't tried, and we see the disrespect that comes from him and the lack of care. And considering the fact that he's worked with Marvel, I mean, I quite frankly, I have no reason to defend this guy. I don't. I'm finding it hard to find a reason to validate as to why these comics looked like they did. And maybe it's because there isn't. These series of screenshots I'm showing here as I'm going through, in general, there's a couple of reasons why not to like them. Not only are they in low quality, but in the in-game comics, they're kind of low quality too. But with the exception of Gel's art, because Gel is a community fan and Gel's amazing. But the in-game comics, at least their facial expressions link up with what they're saying, or they make sense with the situation that's given. In most cases, as for the Apex Overtime, there's a lot of times when they're talking that the art doesn't match up with the text. Now, the writing is good. I read the comics, and you can find the comics pretty easily. I'm not going to post the whole thing because this isn't going to be the best place to find it. My channel, anyways, in speaking, the quality won't be the best, and I'm kind of afraid of DMCA, since technically people were paying for this. But the comics, the art doesn't match up with what the text is, really. Like, the facial expressions, the landscape, all of it is in bad enough quality where it's confusing in some cases. Nessie Pack said this on Twitter as well. It's kind of hard to follow. It's kind of hard to follow some of the story. Like, what the fuck is going on? It's hard to tell. The writing is good. I'm not judging the writing. The writing makes sense from what I can understand, but the art, because the art doesn't match up with the writing, it confuses the person that's reading it, or at least it did me and a couple other people. So, not only do we have an artist who defected from actually trying and a comic that people are paying for, we have an artist that was either rushed or spent no time on the comic, and we got a comic that doesn't really make sense. Keep in mind that the cover art is a complete difference. Now, I believe the cover artist is different than the actual person that's doing the art inside the comic pages. But I'm seeing a trending pattern here, and it just altogether, it's just a shit show. I do not like it. I do not like the artist, sorry, and I don't like the trend. If this is gonna be the way they're gonna do this, then why not just do community comics? I would rather see Katie or Gel or Sarah or Nessie or anyone, Ryanello. I would rather see them get paid, or any of the Apex artists. There's a lot I don't mention, like a lot I know more personally, like Jan or Akechi. There's a lot of people out there that could do a very good job at drawing these in the community and do a lot better than this if they're gonna go this route. My point being is that this guy's being paid as a professional to do something professional. He doesn't do a good job. He doesn't spend on time on it. Doesn't care about it. And it meets no standard that it should whatsoever. And I would rather see a community person who cares about it and does a much better job at drawing than some professional who's gonna just shit all over the fucking comic. I care a lot about Apex. I care a lot about its lore. I care a lot about Titanfall's lore. And seeing someone doing this to this degree pisses me off. It's not a personal blow, but it's an insult to the game, an insult to the devs, and it's an insult to the writers. Or at least that's how I take it. I think it's an insult. And quite frankly, it's not acceptable in my opinion. Like I said, if it wasn't for the guy just basically admitting that he didn't do his research, not caring, and also being disrespectful to the community, it wouldn't be as much of a problem to me. But because of his backfire, and because of the lack of skill in the comics, because of the combination, I am utterly disgusted. This comic is shit. It's shit, I'm sorry. The writing is good. I will give the writing good, but, Ashley Reed, Manny Hogepian, I can't pronounce his last name, and Tom Casiello, who's actually left Respawn now, to pursue other opportunities. they do amazing writing. They always have. I mean, Manny was one of the main writers. I believe Ashley was too. Was one of the two of the main writers in Titanfall. And Titanfall 2 had amazing story. Jack Cooper and BT and Cube and Blisk. Ash, all these amazing characters. They did a great job at writing, and they continue to do the amazing writing in the other Apex comics. They do it good in the game comics. They do it in the 2-minute, 6-minute, 3-minute voice clips we get. They do it in a lot of stuff. A lot of the community comics even are still written by Manny, Tom, and Ashley, and a couple other people as well. So they still do a good job in these, but yet in the Overtime comic, I'm being confused by the material. Even the voice line interactions make sense in this game. But yet, this is the first time I've ever genuinely been confused in Apex lore. How do I interpret this? Where are they at? What is the setting? What is he thinking? How is he feeling? I can't understand that. I'm going off of, well, quite frankly, 3 blobs, a piece of shit, and a bit. I mean, for fuck's sakes. I mean, we have Skrillex, we got Blackburn from Battlefield 1, we got fucking Dr. Doom. I mean, we got fucking, whatever the fuck that is. We got the wannabe claptrap of the century. It's terrible. I mean, it's absolutely terrible. Not to mention that I'm not an SJW or anything like that. So don't call me that. Don't label me that. If you do, I don't really give a flying fuck. But the skin tones in this are awful. They are fucking awful. I am not one to accuse people of whitewashing because as an artist, I understand how hard it is to get skin tone down. I understand how difficult it is, and I understand that most of the time it's not intentional. But this person, Wraith, Lifeline, Bangalore, Gibraltar, I mean, they're all like the same skin tone pretty much in the same fucking piece here that I'm going to show the screenshot of. And even then, if you look at it, why does Gibraltar look darker than Bangalore? I mean, it's just, to me, not only can I see why someone would be upset with it from an ethical or from a cultural standpoint, because to a degree, it would be unacceptable. At least in my eyes, I can find my heart to forgive people because I understand they're not trying to do this stuff. But when you see a professional, once again, this guy is a professional art, doing professional things. This guy worked for Marvel. There is no reason that his fucking artwork should be like this. At all. This guy, like, the skin complexions are terrible. They're not accurate at all in the nearest slight. And it just disportrays the characters. Not trying to say that it's whitewashing, but it's for someone that maybe enjoys comics but doesn't get into Apex, it could easily confuse the person about who the character is and what they look like. Very easily. Now, how many people are actually going to read the comics but don't play Apex? Probably a small amount, but my point still stands. And it's stupid. It's a big fucking mess. I hate it. It pisses me off. And because the authors try so hard, and then the artist just doesn't give a shit. They don't give a shit. It's disgusting. I'm so upset. Now, like I said, I want to emphasize, don't go hating on the guy. It could be very easy to find his name, and maybe I should honestly block his name out. But, yes, he deserves criticism, but he does not deserve hate. No one deserves hate, and yes, maybe I am shitting on him here. But it's more so criticism. In no way do I hate this guy. I do dislike him, because he's showing personality that makes me dislike him. He's showing me personality that makes me think, wow, this is someone I wouldn't want to hang out with. He's kind of being a dick, kind of being disrespectful, kind of being lazy, but I'm not going to go to and hate him directly, because that's not right, that's uncalled for, and by doing that, you're showing yourself being worse than him, or as equal as him when it comes to disrespecting people. So don't do that, okay? I think that, I hope that the next Overtime comic is better. I hope that there's improvements. I hope that he at least studies the way the fucking characters look. And I actually have a screenshot here that shows that he probably hasn't, by the looks of the sketch. Now, this was dated, so maybe he's changed the art. But I want the artist to at least do the research. I want the artist to at least make the characters look somewhat similar. Why the fuck does Mirage look like he's wearing a copper fucking chest plate from modded survival Minecraft? Why? I mean, none of these shots look the same. And once again, I want to emphasize that Apex is a beautiful game with beautiful writers and development team. They try very hard. Now, are they right about everything? No, there are some things that they're not right about. No one is perfect, no one is right all the time, and you can't expect that. But seeing this, like the fact that this is considered Apex, the fact that this is being compared to Apex, the fact that this is Apex, to me is an insult to the actual people of Apex. Seeing the level of attempt that goes into the art in other cases, but not this one, it's such... I mean, I wish I could disown the comic. It's a disgrace. I genuinely, and I mean I genuinely, do not agree with it. However, I will talk a little bit about the cover art. The cover art is fucking amazing. It is absolutely goddamn amazing. I love it. Absolutely love it. It's beautiful. They do very well at representing the characters. They do a very good job with making it very poppy, very comic-based, very comic-y, right? You got that comic approach, but the characters are still remain true to what they look like, and it looks amazing. It's very vibrant, and there's good contrast. There's a lot of good features in the titles or in the actual cover art, but the second you flip the page, it is just disappointment.
They're terrible.
In the first comic, this takes place in Sola City. This takes place at the Paradise Lounge. Maybe it doesn't. The problem is it skips from place to place to place to place, and because none of it is recognizable, because none of it looks quality, because all of it is this fucking low quality shit, it's impossible to tell where they are and what they're doing. I mean, you get the general idea of they're on the street, he talks Wraith, he leaves, he meets at the Paradise Lounge where everyone's at. Is he at the Paradise Lounge? They're back outside. Oh, they're back in the Paradise Lounge. Oh, they're talking to some random dude, and it's like this bounty, these bar people. The bouncers, like, Mirage doesn't own the bar. These random people are here. The Syndicate, Quillis, and all this stupid shit. Like, it seems like maybe they're not even at Mirage's bar anymore. Then all of a sudden they're in the alley again. Oh, hey, guess what? Revenant's chasing you now. Revenant's here. Hey, sorry, Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom is here. Not Revenant, Dr. Doom. Or fucking Megatron from Michael Bay films, to be honest. Really, I mean, there's no fucking difference. It doesn't look like Revenant. They give him a mouth when it's a faceplate. It's like Ash. Ash does not have a mouth. She has a porcelain face that represents a mouth, but she does not have an open jaw. She does not have a literal mouth that has saliva salactating from it. Revenant doesn't have a face. He has a faceplate, but no face. No opening jaw. It's not that hard to figure out. The other problem I have is that this artist, not only did they do a shit job, not only were they disrespectful, not only did they not do their research, not only did they not let me manage the level of professional, but they traced, and I mean they traced the comics. They took characters and their poses, and they just directly traced them, which in general may not be a bad idea, because sometimes it looks great, but they're doing weird positions, like Octane especially, but they do weird poses in places that don't match whatsoever. Not only is it not matching, which creates confusion between the art and the fucking writing, the tracing is goddamn awful. I don't know whether I should call Octane Turtletane, Turtletech, Cocktane, fucking Roostertane, I don't know. It's not Octane. I can tell you that much. He looks like a goddamn pumpkin. Like a literal, like, carved out pumpkin. Or like this stupid slime thing from, like, what's that, a Rigby show. It's disappointing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just shitting on a poor artist. Maybe I'm just shitting on a guy that just doesn't fucking care. Maybe I just think I'm just so much better than this guy, which I don't. But and it's not just me. There's a lot of artists and other Apex people that were extremely displeased with these comics. Most of them gave positive, constructive, and just constructive feedback. Some did unnecessarily attack the artist. To be fair, the artist did attack other people, which was uncalled for as well, but that doesn't justify attacking him. And seeing some of the other artists that I personally know, and some of the artists I don't personally know, going through and sharing their thoughts on the comics, and even redrawing the comics and showing a better way to represent the characters. Some of the sketches actually not even taking that long. It's just, man, now that I had some time to sit on this, and I know I'm not alone on this. It's not just me. I think that the community as a whole, even some of the devs are probably disappointed with this. Now, is the artist still gonna do this shit? He's probably still gonna draw for Apex Overtime. This is probably gonna be Apex Overtime. Am I still gonna look at them? Yes. Am I still gonna read the lore? Yes. Why? Because I love the lore, and my channel is now centered around lore videos. It's what I do. I do lore. You guys want lore? I give it to you when I actually upload.
Pushing.
Which I'll actually get into here in a second. It's just,
Bangalore coming.
it feels like the people are being ripped off for their money. Is what it feels like. It feels like a disappointment, and it feels like that this could have been done better in the hands of someone else who actually cared. Even if the artist, I don't care if this was like the worst artist in the world. If they would have cared and actually tried, I would have been fine. I would have been fine with it. Now, maybe if it wasn't still up to the standards of professional, if the art wasn't high quality, but
Both of them.
it's more so the fact that this person didn't care, didn't do the research, didn't care, and not only did they not care, but they flaunted about it, and just didn't care that they didn't care. Like, they give no fucks about what people thought about them not caring, as if they just Respawn Entertainment in Apex Legends wasn't good enough for them. They work for Marvel. They work with big guys, you know? Like, that's the vibe I get, is that, like, why this guy's thinking something like, why the fuck would I try for Apex? What the fuck is this? I work for Marvel. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, in general, I just do not see how this artist made any attempt. And it bothers me. That's all I got to ramble about here for this video in terms of Apex Overtime. However, I do want to take a second and explain where I've been. It's been about a month since I've uploaded, and I am due to an explanation here. It's in numerous things. One, I have to script this video and edit it and actually get it set up, which didn't take that long. It took about a week or two of stuff, so not too bad. The other 2 weeks and 3 weeks, I guess, if you want to consider it, I have been going through graduation, grad parties, and whatnot. Grad parties. I've also been doing a lot of work. My mom got married on a Saturday 2 weeks ago. So I had to do a lot of preparation, a lot of moving stuff, and obviously I did attend it. So we had a marriage. I had some personal events to go through. A little bit of rough spot for Brian here. Had some tough stuff. My cousin got shipped out to Syria, and you know, not very fun. It's very hard to take. It's very hard to take into account. I also have some. I have some losses that has happened. I don't really want to get into it. It's life. It's a little depressing for this video, and I kind of wanted to stay away from this stuff because of that. It was a little difficult for me. I'm not gonna lie, it was rough. With that being said, I've also been working on a 31 Days of Apex thing and getting involved in the community doing another project. So I've been putting a lot of time into drawing that as well. So that's kind of where I've been. I plan on getting into more uploading schedule. I want to be more consistent, and I want to get more into that. I can't promise that yet, but I am going to try to. I can promise you that I will try, but I can't promise that I can deliver just quite yet. And by the way, ranked videos, I'm probably not going to play ranked anymore. Ranked is in a shit place right now. I tried playing, and pretty much every game results in a fucking DDoS, which results in the match just shutting down and me not getting any RP for it. So, no point in really playing right now. Sorry, guys. There is a Genesis event collection. I have a coming up. Sorry, got a burp. And that'll be pretty interesting. Some changes happening that'll be interesting.
I see why McCrean likes this gun.
I still enjoy the game, and I still enjoy doing YouTube. I still enjoy drawing, and I enjoy all that. It's just I kind of just rough patch in a mixture of things. I do want to start discussing my lore. I'm probably going to discuss Fuse Bloodhound, Caustic, Watson, Crypto again, because there's enough lore to kind of go off of the last thing I was talking about, my theory where Caustic was dying, which is actually correct. I was correct. I want to discuss that because there's a lot of lore to unpack there, and I want to start unpacking some Horizon lore and tie it in with the one and only Ashley Reed, or Ash. The Simulacrum. I want to get into that stuff. I want to maybe get in some. I want to get into some Wraith stuff with Bangalore, maybe a little bit more Mirage and Wraith, and I want to get into some individual Mirage stuff, even Watson and Mirage stuff. There's enough there that I might do a video on, possibly. So there's a lot of stuff to go around. I'm gonna go into Viper maybe, or go into the Titanfall history. I might start going back through and doing some of the Pathfinder's Quest stuff. However, Pathfinder's Quest didn't seem to be well perceived on here, mostly because it was a review and not an interpretation of lore and a review. So Maybe I'll only review some parts of Pathfinder's Quest. I don't know. I still have a lot to decide what I'm doing here on YouTube and what you guys want. I know you want lore. A lot of it's probably going to be Mirage-centered and Wraith-centered, individually and together, because that's what you guys seem to like. However, I will do crypto stuff and caustic stuff and Gibby stuff and Lifeline and Octane, which actually has got a lot of good stuff to cover here. Every now and then to fill up holes in my channel, because, well, Mirage and Wraith don't get all the lore all the time, and there is actually decent time in between each other when they get lore. So, that's all I got. Stay with me, guys, please, and thank you for the support, and I hope I can catch you all in my next YouTube video.
Behind you, behind you, behind you.
No, man. No, I don't hear him.
It's third floor.
No, he's here.
Catching myself up.
Third floor down, I can hear him.
Yeah.
10 seconds. The ring is.
Spotted me.
Got it.
Reloading. That's the last of that squad.
Flash.
Reloading.
Jesus,
I don't
did he
know
not know
what-
you're behind her or something and still try to...
I don't know.
Broke.
Can't believe I'm standing still.
I'm sick of it.
You're lucky I like you.
On top, behind the top.
Grenade. Enemy taking point.
One's low.
That one.
I'm pushing.
That's some
Both
crack.
are below.
Crack 49. No, put this movie down.
Pushing.
Orcs are out.
Wow. It's like
I'm done.
Taking shots.
I understand.
killed the last member. Good work, team. Only one other squad left.
What the fuck? Was that it?
Got it.
Throw an arc star.
Which one was?
Guys, let's do this.
Crypto's broke. Flash.
Reload.
Fire in the hole. I am taking fire.
Good one, dipshit. Peek me while you're fucking popping a bat. Makes it easier for me.
Well, he was gonna die either way.
You are the Apex Champions.
Back to back.
Oh, they all finished near the same time. Oh. Sweet. How did Ruby Rose make it onto the...
I'm insane!
I actually want to know.